If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
You're listening to KFI AM 640 on demand.
It's later with Mo Kelly. I'm Andy Riesmeyer in for Mr. Mo Kelly this evening, alongside Brigida D'Agostino. She's busy. We are learning a little bit more here about R&B singer David. He has left the LA mansion that he was living in amid the probe into the remains of Celeste Rivas. He has reportedly moved out of his Hollywood Hills mansion that he was living in. It might have been his manager's home. After those dismembered remains of a missing 15-year-old girl were found stuffed into the trunk of a Tesla. That car was registered to him earlier this month. It was found abandoned in that neighborhood, not far away. 13,000 something of Doheny. Just up off of Sunset there, border of Beverly Hills and West Hollywood. LAPD says that employees at Hollywood Tow reported a foul odor. The lot had the car there for 5 days, and it appeared that she had been deceased in the vehicle for an extended period of time. Her remains were then released recently to her family. Whether that means they have a cause of death, there is some speculation in the media there. But one of the things I think that is really interesting about this very strange, awful story is because David is a somewhat famous person who also even was on his own Reddit, the sole moderator of his own Reddit page. Lots of fans now digging into his music and sort of trying to read the tea leaves.
The singer, who was on tour, has now canceled all of his shows, but has not commented on the investigation. As he remains silent, his fans are loud online, critiquing his lyrics and music videos that feature gory imagery and themes. One of his most popular songs, titled Romantic Homicide. And take a look at this video for One More Dance. The heavier the snow. What appears to be a blindfolded David in a bloodied shirt standing by as two people put a body into the trunk of a car. And this anime video for David's song Rehab, depicting a girl's arm being cut off.
It's just not good. None of this is good. This is all very bad. And I think that you first hear about this story with no details. Oh, excuse me. Microsoft Office. With no details, and you think, well, that's really weird. How could somebody be so dumb that they would... It couldn't have been him, right? I mean, he's still on tour. He's not under arrest. How could he be so dumb that he would do this and then her body would be in his car for some extended period of time? And then you start to see things like this, and then you learn that she's incredibly young. She's a child. It's just very unsettling. Very, very strange. Apparently, the Los Angeles Police Department putting a lot of energy, a lot of resources involved here trying to figure out what happened here. So we'll keep you updated if we have any other information. Some other lighter Hollywood news. You might remember during the Emmys, host Nate Bargatze did a long-running, much maligned, people did not like this bit, where money was deducted from the Boys and Girls Club of America if an acceptance speech went over 45 seconds. So when people would talk, the money would go down. And then if they came in under time, money would be put back. He thought it was great. CBS apparently was very happy with the idea when he pitched it. In his podcast, he's reflecting on some of the reaction. Like I said, much maligned. The critics definitely didn't like it. I guess people really like to hear those acceptance speeches. And I think it went on for kind of too long. I mean, who am I to say as far as not knowing when to stop with a good joke? But he also said that he actually wasn't going to be giving any of that money of his own cash to the Boys and Girls Club in that bit, even though that was kind of the bit. He said he didn't assume he'd be on the hook. And he feels like, in a podcast, he says he didn't think that he explained it correctly. He said, I had it in my head one way, it kind of came out another way, but the reasoning was there. He said, I wasn't going to give the money at the end. I wasn't thinking I was going to have to, but the way it went, I was like, I'm not going to not. And he said that the Boys and Girls Club was awesome. He also reflected on being at the Emmys alongside so many celebrities, saying he felt slightly removed from the awards. And I think that was really obvious. If you watched, and I don't know if that's his fault, but he kind of looked like an outsider in this world. I know he is an outsider. This guy's a Nashville dude. He is not an LA guy. He plays to both the coasts and the middle part of the country, but he is not somebody who's in their club in the way that Jimmy Kimmel maybe would have been. He says he felt like it was crazy. He wasn't a part of it. Even though he's hosting, he was not mixed in. The Rolling Stone said Bargatze at best seemed confused about why anybody watching at home should care about the bit, and at worst, radiated absolute contempt for the whole thing. And I think that that's kind of the tough thing about this because, you know, if you go into this as an outsider and you say, I'm going to make a mockery of this award show, it's not like it was 20 years ago when everybody watched these. And if you don't like award shows, you're not going to watch. There's a million other things you can do. Maybe 1 trillion. And I think that you just look at this and say, okay, he didn't plan on donating his own money. He didn't think that he was going to have to. Said CBS was happy and everybody at home was. I don't know about all that. I wish he would have been a part of the club. It would have been nice. Coming up, we're going to talk about the world's coolest neighborhoods. Plus, hear from an actual young person about slang. I've been teasing it for like hours. We're going to get to it, I promise.
You're listening to KFI AM 640 on demand.
Welcome back to Later with Mo Kelly. I'm Andy Riesmeyer in for Mr. Mo Kelly on this Thursday, September 25th. Just past 9:18 here. We're live, baby. This isn't to tape. This is actually happening. If you want to be a part of the show, you can check us out on the iHeartRadio app. Just look for KFI and click that talkback button and leave a message and tell us if you like what we're talking about. If not, if you have any thoughts, concerns, you can also call in 800-520-1534. That's 1-800-520-1KFI. All right. This is something that has really been bothering me a lot about generational things. It's how things are different. I'm 37. I'm 100% out of the demo, as they say. Culture, for the most part, is made for teenagers. That's what's cool. That's what's hip. The internet has kind of changed that nicely, but especially back in the day, you were cool, and then you woke up one day, and I think it was when you were 35, and they just didn't think that you had any value as far as a consumer goes. Maybe they moved you off to buying life insurance policies. I don't know. But one of the things that keeps people young is their slang words. And as our caller before told us, Scott told us, look, we all just made up stuff to sort of keep in the know with each other. Way we could communicate as kids so that adults wouldn't know what we were talking about. And that is no different. We told you about some slang words earlier. And this morning on the KTLA Morning News, which feels like it was 10,000 years ago, I think it was 13 hours ago, I started asking the young folk if these slang words like chuzz were real. We actually had one of our younger producers who is in Gen Z call her younger sister. She was so funny, we put her on the air. Listen.
Emily, are you with us this morning?
Hi, this is Emily. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. All right, first up, the word is chopped. What does it mean, and are people actually saying it?
Yes, people are very much saying it. Chopped is like another version of ugly, so horrible, but like on a deeper level.
Emily,
I thought it was chop. Let's chop it up.
Oh, buddy.
Talking it.
Emily,
50 years ago. Yeah.
Emily,
How old is Emily, by the way?
you're 18, is that right?
I'm freshly 18, yeah.
Fresh.
All right. Well, happy belated
Emily,
birthday.
turn off your TV.
Okay.
No, I think she's
Thank
with
you.
somebody else.
Oh, I see.
I'm assuming. Also, okay, the next one is chuzz. We are told this is a term for an unattractive woman. Is that correct?
No, unattractive male. Okay, it's an unattractive male, actually. So if you like this guy, let's say you show a picture of him to your friend, she'll be like, oh, that's Chuz. Look at these yeah.
So you say that's Chuz?
The guy's chuzz. Like an ugly guy.
No.
Because it's a mix of chopped and husband, is that?
yeah.
Of course.
Two of them going on. So that's
You're like, oh, that's my hus.
That's my hus, but
Yeah.
he's chopped, so he's my chuzz.
so he's not
Yes,
attractive.
But he's not good looking. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes. When I was young, which to me felt like 5 minutes ago, but speaking to you, it seems like it's 1,000 years ago. We used the word bop to describe a good song rather. That's a bop.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, but apparently that's not what that means anymore.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
What does it mean?
Bop is like, it's like the last thing you want to be called. It's basically like you're passed around.
Oh, you're passed around. This is like 1940s slang mixed
So,
up.
like, you would say that person is a bop?
Or not a bop.
Yeah,
Or
like
a,
she's a bop, or he's a bop.
He's a bop.
they have lots of partners.
See, he's a bop.
I guess we're shaming again.
Yeah.
So
Is it Emily we're talking to?
Oh, yeah.
Emily, who's your friend? Because there's two of you on there, right?
Oh, yes. So I'm actually with my roommate. We go to UC Santa Barbara, so shout out. Hi, I'm Kara.
all right.
Kara.
Shout out, Kara.
Finally, since you're up there in Santa Barbara, what does the word sharking mean?
This one I actually haven't heard. Okay, so I got this one for the both of us. Sharking is like, basically like this summer, I was sharking, like I was outside.
You were outside.
You were outside. What were you doing outside?
No, like outside, like on the prowl.
Oh. You were stepping outside of the.
Like looking for hus outside.
Emily, thank you.
Still confused.
Emily,
She's
thank you so much.
language. And I still
Yeah.
don't know what she said.
All right. Well,
Sharking for a hus.
there you go.
Sharking for a huzz. Okay, so those are real things that young people are actually saying. I always have this sinking suspicion or sneaking suspicion that whenever we do these stories about things that are cool, things that the young folk are saying, by the time they make it to the news, they are no longer cool. Maybe they are no longer now. By the way, fall has started. It's football season. Kids are back in school. There's no better time to just skip town. And when you take off, flight attendants want you to know what not to order. This is all according to Travel and Leisure magazine. They interviewed a bunch of flight attendants. They say you got to avoid these things on an airplane. First up, skip the plain water or anything made with airplane water. We're talking ice. We're talking coffee. Coffee, even if they boil it, iced coffee, I guess. Studies over the years have shown higher levels of harmful bacteria in the water tanks. I guess they don't get cleaned very often. They say if you need caffeine, have a soda. And if you're tired, just take a nap. Second, they say don't order foods that make you gassy. I'm not sure why, but they say this includes things like onions, kale, beans, red meat, lentils, gluten, and broccoli. How many times have you ever ordered onion or kale on an airplane? Brigitte, you ever fly first class and they give you that onion, kale, bean, lentil?
I mean, I've eaten some very interesting things, especially on foreign flights.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. But if you're going to, to Cincinnati, I don't think they're doing a lot of lentil for purchase. They say if you want to drink like a beverage, an alcoholic one, that's cool. But they say skip the Bloody Mary. The extra salt will bloat and dehydrate you. But honestly, if it's not a gassy, bloated, dehydrated, buzzy flight, I don't want to be a part of it. Brigitte, are you you don't drink, I realize that, but what do you do? Do you have any rituals on an airplane?
I mean, I drink wine. I just don't drink hard liquor.
Oh, right. Okay.
Rituals on a plane, I just download as many movies as possible and try to just get through it.
Are you a fearful flyer? I'm not a
fearful flyer. I just hate sitting.
Oh my God,
in
I do
tight
too.
Space
I do too. It's so claustrophobic. Okay, I got to tell you, I'm working on a segment right now that we shot on Tuesday, and it's with this place called We Fly up in Pasadena, and it is a 737 simulator. And it's like a full motion situation. You go in there and the concept was, many men think that in a case of an emergency, the pilot had the fish, the co-pilot also had the fish, that they can land the plane. We're always waiting for a guy or the flight attendant to pop out and say, hey, does anyone on this plane push your call button if you know you can land this plane? I am one of those people who thinks that I could do this.
You probably could, though.
Well, here's the deal. And I'll spoil this for us. We went up there to see if I could do it. And I mean, I did have some help. But I did not crash. I did not crash the plane.
So you could land it.
I was able to land the simulator. In a real situation, if we were at altitude, I don't think anything would like this would have ever
I think you'd
happened.
be fine. Us broadcasters, we thrive in the live.
There is something to be said about that. The instructor said you do really well under pressure. And I was like, oh.
You have no choice. You just do it.
That's right. I work in news. I started my career at KTLA. If I'm lucky, I'll end it there. Nothing is more difficult than dealing with the deadline of live television and the chaos and the stress.
Especially when you get an assignment like 3 minutes before you go live and you're just winging it, learning facts, memorizing.
And then you got to pretend like you're smart. That's the best thing. It's really good. I wonder, there's probably a lot of con artists in news. Things I don't really want to think too much about.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
You're listening to KFI AM 640 on demand.
It's later with Mo Kelly. I'm Andy Riesmeyer in for Mo Kelly. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to hand it off to Mr. George Noory. I'm hoping we're going to be able to talk to him before his show starts because I want to ask him a little bit about rapture talk. And I want to try to understand, why do people get so amped about these end of the world stories? Listen, I understand. If it was real, that's all that I could think about too. It's literally the end of the world. That's not my world. But it's odd because they come and go so quickly, and I wonder what kind of things make people buy into them. Or maybe it happened, and I'm some kind of Matrix situation. We're going to have George answer all the questions. I also want to talk about this story from my friend Chris Wolf, who also works at KTLA. The California woman in Santa Monica. They're struggling with the death of their mother. The issue is she's very much alive.
John Van Leuven of Santa Monica is dealing with the death of his beloved mother. What's most jarring is the fact that it never happened, but the federal government's information says otherwise. 86-year-old Sarah Van Leuven is still very much alive.
It's been quite an ordeal. Not so much for me, but for my children and my son, who's my care provider.
It's just this most stupid, the stupidest situation here. A verifiably alive person, and then the federal government says, sorry, we can't help you out. When you get to this point in your life, this is not what you want to be dealing with.
Due to some kind of computer glitch or human error, the Social Security Administration listed Sarah as being deceased as of April 1st, 2016. The former LAUSD special education teacher and stroke survivor actually retired on that date, and the milestone could be at the center of the confusion.
How does that happen? Apparently, the family had already known that something like this was up because they got a notice a couple of years later saying something to this effect, and they went through a pretty lengthy process of trying to sort it all out, and they thought it was all sorted out until they got another notice recently.
They're really...
Let me find that for you.
Come to find out, Sarah was not only listed as deceased again, but she was eventually purged, erased from all records with Medicare and health insurance systems. She says the lack of information suggested she'd never been born. The gargantuan gaffe disrupted her pensions with a year's worth of payments pulled back overnight. And her bank canceled credit cards.
What is happening? This woman is obviously alive. She's talking to Chris Wolf. And they're automatically doing all of this. Pulled back a year's worth of payments. They just took it out of her account. And then the bank just said, sorry, you've been dead. Credit card's done. You're locked out.
And her bank canceled credit cards. On top of everything, the family tells KTLA they've been dealing with certain government employees who don't appear to consider the situation critical, urgent.
We make a phone call to Social Security. Now, somebody at Social Security says, well, we see that she's alive in the main record, but there's this auxiliary record that still shows her as dead.
No buts. She's there. No but. She's dead. She's alive. Change the auxiliary record.
I think she is currently, right now, completely eliminated from the Medicare system, and she has no health insurance, and that is life-threatening for her. And so right now, we're going to deal with all the other stuff when this is dealt with.
They're really not expediting it. I'm really fortunate to have my children. Some people in my condition might not have children to help take care of us.
Man, your heart has to go out to this person. This woman was an LAUSD special ed teacher. She retired and planned to just live her retirement happily in Santa Monica. Someone will hear this story, I hope, and fix this clerical error, this glitch. You don't have Social Security, you don't have health care. It is critical. It's crazy. And the fact that you keep going back and forth, hitting a wall, this is why people go insane. And it's not limited to the federal government or the state. You ever try to dispute something with Uber? You ever try to find out if you can get your money back for a Postmates delivery? Good luck with that. We've replaced the phone tree situation, all the different buttons you have to push and wait to try to get to somebody with AI, with these chatbots that are just basically trying to wear you down so that you stop pursuing trying to get your money back. And then the people, if you do finally get to somebody, are just sitting there looking at a script. They might as well be chatbots. It's tough out there. It's tough and it's stinky, especially in Runyon Canyon. Neighbors say something smells real bad. It's the bathroom of Runyon Canyon, and it hasn't even been built yet.
Currently, there are only porta potties here at Runyon Canyon, but I'm told those are a nightmare. We do have to get video of those porta potties. I'm going to make Ed do all the work because...
That's Jacqueline Sarkeesian, by the way, a great reporter, a lot of personality, making photographer Ed Almonte go shoot the porta potties. There you go.
I am told it is a smelly situation. Okay, you guys, let's show you some video. We know Runyon Canyon, super popular. A lot of people come here. Millions of people come to hike here all throughout the year.
Don't you feel like she's just holding an iced coffee in one hand doing the report? Very LA. She's an LA local.
And now here we are talking about bathrooms. So the porta potties are available at the entrance of the park, and several people think it's about time the city installs these permanent ones. However, others believe it could make matters worse to the already existing problems like crime and fire hazards. And then there's the price of the restroom, which we've all made very clear, expected to cost $1 million.
$1 million for 2 toilets. Like you heard Jacqueline say there, only porta potties right now for all of those visitors. I'm not really sure why porta potties are less of a crime concern than a real bathroom. I don't know why porta potties are less of a fire concern than a real bathroom. But opponents are backed up over this. A neighborhood group says they found a company that could do it for half the price. Only $500,000 for a 2-toilet bathroom. And that neighborhood group is accusing city leaders of shady deals and kickbacks, calling it a scandalous, fraudulent, million-dollar bathroom. Some locals told KTLA off camera they're fine with it. They just want something better than the blue boxes. Now, City Hall says that this has been in demand for years, and it won't come from the park's general fund. It's still taxpayer money. And they promise clean, safe, accessible facilities for all. But they did not consult any of the people in the neighborhood about this. Coming up, talking to George Noory.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
You're listening to KFI AM 640 on demand.
It's later with Mo Kelly. I'm Andy Riesmeyer in for Mo Kelly. Joining us now, George Noory with a look at what's coming up tonight. George, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm so honored to finally get to talk to you.
Thank you, Andy. Me too. You do a great job, by the way. And on the show tonight, we're going to talk about microbial life may have been found on Mars, and then later on in the program, crop circles. Where do they come from?
Ooh, I love that. Hey, can I ask you a question about this rapture talk thing? You know, a lot of people on the internet this week were speculating that the rapture was going to happen Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, guys who are like you, sort of deep in the out of this world metaphysical, do you look at things like that as, do you shrug it off? Is it a joke?
I don't think it's a joke. A lot of civilizations have always believed that they were in the rapture. They're doing it now. I don't think we are, but it's not a joke. One day it might happen.
Yeah, people are obsessed with end of the world stories. And do you feel like the one this week is different than ones in the past, or what do you think?
It's probably the same. Different people, same subject.
Right on. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being able to call and talk, and we're looking forward to hearing you tonight at 10 o'clock. How long are you doing the show tonight?
4 hours live, 5 hours total.
Well, very good. And appreciate you as always. Have a great evening, and we'll hear you in about 10 minutes there. George Noory.
Thanks, Andy. See you soon.
Bye, George. There he goes. How about that? I got a little starstruck. You know, Brigitte, we worked with William Shatner.
I know.
I thought after that
I actually worked with him in office.
Yeah.
Like recently in the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. I think you told me this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's great.
He was actually amazing. I think he drove himself to the studio every day. And
no
surprise.
Was
so friendly.
He still has blocked me on Twitter. I still do not know what he's doing because he blocked me after the show we did together. I don't think we didn't have a falling out, which makes this all the more mysterious.
Maybe he didn't realize he blocked you.
I don't want to like undersell his technological abilities, but the man is like 90 years old. Big fan of his. Hope someday he'll unblock me, so maybe I can send him DMs or something like that. We talked about this a bit earlier. The coolest cities in the world. Yeah. Brigitte, where do you think? Brooklyn?
In the world?
Not even close.
I love Rome.
I do too. Rome is great. There's a whole bunch of lists that are, a bunch of cities rather, been compiled by TimeOut. That is a publication, not a discipline, based on nominations from editors and writers judging the culture, community, livability, food, drink, and nowness. Ooh, that's a new thing that I didn't know I had to be concerned about. Nowness. I'm good now. I don't know about later. So, number 5 was Avondale, Chicago. Noted for wine bars, wellness studios, live music venues, and quirky small businesses like Avondale Bowl and Consignment Lounge. I bet that place smells like mothballs. Gotta love a good vintage cowboy shirt. Number 4 was Camberwell, London, praised for multiculturalism, art spaces like the South London Gallery, and independent local businesses. I could get down on a local business, maybe a London Gallery. The next third coolest city in the world is Barra Funda, Sao Paulo. That's, of course, in Brazil. Mix of industrial history and creative vibes, notable for new cocktail spots like Agua y Biscote. I'm sorry to all the Brazilians. I've been awake since 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been working since 6 o'clock in the morning. The next second coolest is Borgerhout, Antwerp, called the city's creative heart with galleries, foodie spots, and quarterly Borger Nocturne celebrations. Oh, Brigida, what are we doing for the Borger Nocturne celebration this year?
Something fun.
I guess we're going to go to the creative foodie spots. These places sound cool that people might like them, but I don't know that they like people. Anywhere you go that's too cool, you might not be cool enough to go. The number 1 coolest place was Jimbo Show, Tokyo.
I do love Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo is pretty dang cool.
Really cool.
How have you been a lot?
I've only been once.
What was your favorite part?
So we went to these little tiny like bar restaurant things. You could only fit like 6 people inside, and they would literally like hang your stuff on a wall, on a hanger, and you could barely fit in it. And it was so fun. And we met a girl. It was like her 30th birthday, and she just tagged along with us. She wanted to speak English because they all speak English, apparently, the young people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they love Americans there.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they do now.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends. I think that, if you go and you respect a culture as a tourist, I have a complex about this. I never want to go anywhere and not feel like I don't want to stick out. I don't want to be a person who doesn't appear that they're of the place. I say this knowing how absolutely not Los Angeles I appear. How much I look like I grew up in the Midwest. I get it. But I think if you go somewhere and you try to sort of immerse yourself in the culture, you leave the hotel. That's always the best. But they say that this part of Tokyo is the coolest in the world because they have 130 vintage bookstores. That is a lot
cool.
That is a lot of bookstores. Known for coffee culture and curry restaurants. I didn't know that there was a lot of Japanese curry. They said that the food is the best in Japan. I think Italy's pretty darn good too. I'd have to say. What an evening we had all here together. I'm so appreciative that you guys came, checked it out. Brigida, I know you didn't have to be here. Tony, I know you didn't have to be here. I appreciate you being part of this. Tony's like, can I wait to go home?
We're having fun.
We are having fun. I will be back with you on Sunday. Chargers are playing in the morning. I think our pre-show starts at 9 a.m. here on KFI. And then we will get to the Andy Riesmeyer show at some point. I don't think we'll be preempted unless they go into some kind of overtime. Almost had an overtime situation last week if you watched the Chargers 3-0, by the way. Half of the team is injured, but they're still doing it. Got a lot of heart. Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, this is the year. And I'll tell you what, our boss, Brian Long, he's a Chiefs fan. I got to be nice because he's, writing the paychecks here. We played, of course, the Chargers. I say we, I'm a Chargers fan. Played the Chiefs first game, Sao Paulo, Brazil. He texted me that day. He goes, before kickoff, hey, I'm sorry your team had to travel all the way to Brazil to get your butt kicked. This is how cocky this guy was going in to the season. And the Chiefs have not done great. Starting off with that loss against the Chargers. And yes, Chargers fans did act like winning against the Chiefs in the first game of the season was like winning the Super Bowl. I understand that. But you got to let us have it. Got to give us just a little bit. Because we always, almost win. And that's humility. Thanks for listening to Later with Mo Kelly. You can find me on the internet at AndyKTLA. And like I said, I'll see you back here on Sunday. You're listening to KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640. on demand.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.